International trade policy was the topic Thursday at a meeting in Stamford attended by Congressman Jim Himes, Assistant Secretary of the U.S. Department of Commerce Marcus Jadotte, and local business leaders. The White House briefing held at the Innovation Center downtown focused on how foreign trade agreements impact Connecticut companies.
75,000 jobs in Connecticut are supported by exports from the state. And we had a great group of companies who are exporting from Connecticut, who in many ways are the face of American trade.
About half of Connecticut's exports, just shy of 50% of Connecticut's exports, get made right here in Fairfield County.
This region of Connecticut is the 30th in terms of trade volume, exports more than all but 29 other regions in the country. So that's a really large volume of trade, lots of exports for a community this size.
The hot topic of Thursday's discussion was the Trade Promotion Authority, legislation recently introduced to Congress that would give the green light for certain trade agreements. One of those agreements currently in negotiations is the Trans-Pacific Partnership, involving countries in the Asia-Pacific region.
We're facing a question of whether we give this president what's known as Trade Promotion Authority to go out and negotiate a deal with 12 countries in the Pacific Rim that Congress would then vote yes or no on without amendment. This is an authority that has been granted to most presidents or all presidents really, except Richard Nixon, since Roosevelt, and it's how we get trade agreements done.
We have the most open economy in the world. Exporters from Asia can import into the U.S. With very little tariffs and other costs. That's not true for American businesses for the most part. We face much higher tariffs in the region, and so we're negotiating an agreement to reduce those tariffs, which will increase American trade, the volume of American trade, American exports to the region.
But not all legislators are sold. Himes says he needs more insight on the real impact this will have on the state's economy.
But the big question here is, does President Obama's trade deal, the one that he's negotiating with Asia, does it make sense for the American people, for American workers, for the American middle class, and of course, as far as I'm concerned, for workers right here in Fairfield County. The president, of course, makes the argument that he has had a political career standing up for the middle class and for working families, and that this trade agreement is going to assist those people. But obviously, I've got to do the work to make sure that that's true.
Organized by the Business Forward, the event is one in a series to be held across the country to help business leaders brief officials on how international trade policy affects their bottom lines. Reporting in Stamford, I'm Samantha McKelvey for It's Relevant News.